Hey there and welcome back. If you are brand new, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Natasha and I am the creator behind Crafting Compassionate Love, and I am so excited to be contributing to this month's Stretch Your Stamps series by Shu Wen, and I am thrilled to be participating. And this month it is all about stamping on different surfaces. I am going to be showing you how you can use glassine bags. And maybe you're wondering, like, what the heck is a glassine bag? So those are the kind of milky, papery bags that a lot of our paper crafts come in from different kit subscriptions and often seen in packaging. I really love to be able to reuse packaging to really stretch my supplies. So why not? We're going to stretch our supplies while stretching our stamps. I really like to use glassine bags as a different way to add texture and interest to my memory planning layouts. It's also a way that I can add some interest and texture without getting it too bulky for my memory planner. I'm currently using the Cocoa Daisy Planner for my planner inserts. And the kit that I am using today, or the collection, is Some Days by Pinkfresh Studios. And these colors, as you can see, are really highly pigmented. I don't often use this type of, I would say, more primary color palette with that really bold red and the yellow and the blue. I don't typically use these colors. So before I share a little bit about how I use glassine bags, I want to talk a little bit about why. So obviously it's that texture with a minimal bulk, but I also like to use glassine bags as a way to tone down some color. So I really love the patterns that are in this collection, but they're pretty bold. And when you're doing a memory planning layout and there's different quality photos from different days, I think it really helps to have that subtle film there from the glassine bag to kind of tone it down. So that's a little bit about why I like to use glassine bags, and I definitely encourage you to give it a shot, and of course to give it a shot with your stamps. So that's why we're all here today, right? Because we are stamp lovers and we want to know how to stretch our stamps. So you've already seen a little bit of my stamping action here as I've started working on the left hand side of the page. Now, it's really critical when stamping on glassine bags the type of ink that you are using. Now, perhaps compared to some other stampers that have been featured in this series, I do not have an extensive ink collection. It's actually pretty basic. I primarily use distressed oxides, and distressed oxides will not work for glassine bags. You do need to use a type of dye ink when you are stamping on a glassine bag. I recommend using the Archival ink. I am using it in jet black, and that is the primary ink that I am using, and I definitely recommend it when you are working on stamping in a surface like a glassine bag. I also, the gray ink that I am using, like when I created that Make Me Happy background that I used on Monday, I have used the Color Theory cement color from Studio Calico. Once again, it is also a dye-based ink. Now, even though you're using a dye-based ink, you're going to want to give it a minute / like 5 minutes to dry before you are touching it. So you'll see as I'm creating this layout, I'm kind of pausing and then I'll come back to it. So that way I am not interfering with and risking smudging my freshly stamped image. A little bit of washi tape goes a long way. If you saw, I just used it right there while I added that stitching stamp, and it really helps make the glassine bag not stick too much to the stamp. I think that, or perhaps it's just my archival ink, it's a little bit older, it does stick to the glassine bag a little bit. So I found that washi tape goes really far in helping you out. Now, as I'm building my title for my memory planning layout, Just Us Girls, it was just me and my pooches as my partner was away for the week. I am using Versafine black ink, and it is my most favorite ink to stamp with. I definitely recommend giving it a go if you have not tried it before in the past. I definitely recommend, if you are getting started, to select a good black ink. Now this is going to depend on your personal preference, and then select maybe 2 to 3 colors that you use often in your projects. When I first got started, I had this Versafine black ink and I had 3 distress oxide colors, and that was my stamp stash, or my stamp ink stash. And then as I've gotten more into stamping, I've added to that, but I definitely just want to provide that reminder, because I think we all need those reminders sometimes, that you do not need to go out and buy all the ink colors. So as I'm chatting here, my little get off my stamp soapbox, you're seeing that I'm trying these two different techniques. The Oh Boy, I'm stamping directly onto the pattern paper, and then the Boy, I am stamping onto the glassine bag. Now that's 2 different types of inks, but you can't tell as they're both black, and I'm using the same stamp consistently in that title. The Enjoy and Relax pattern that I've added there with the gray ink, these are all Heidi Swapp stamps from her Stamp Society subscription. I think they're a ton of fun. I love Heidi's script handwriting, and it's been really cool to blend that style in with this really ultra modern style of the Some Days collection. So I went with a gray ink for that background, so it's subtle detail, it's there, but it's not going to overpower the photo, which I will be layering on top of the background shortly. As I wrap up this spread in my memory planner, I did want to point out, in addition to glassine bags, pattern paper, you can also stamp on your embellishments as a different surface and to make them your own. Embellishments are such a fun way to add those little tiny details, just like I did here with this tag on Tuesday, pairing it with a sticker. I just think it looks really, really cute. I did use the Versafine black ink, as it is my favorite black ink, and especially for fine detail stamps like this one. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video and you've walked away with some new ideas on how you can stretch your stamps and use your ink stash in a way that works for you. I'm going to be adding a link down below to all of the other creators who are participating in this month's challenge, and I just want to thank Shuin for inviting me to participate in this month's YouTube series. Be sure to check her down below. I have some close-up photos here of the details of the stamps on the glassine bags and the other stamping details that we added together. I love how this turned out in my memory planner. I hope you've enjoyed this video too. If you have, be sure to give me a thumbs up, and if you feel so inclined, to leave me a comment and consider subscribing. Until next time, I will see you soon.